Looking at our scene in New Orleans, we do have kind of gray skies and we do have some scattered rain, but of course nothing like what's happening over in Florida. Some big heavy rain bands, and a tornado watch is over to the northeast and east side of the center, which has just made landfall officially and is moving to the north, still near 14 miles per hour. It will probably, as I said, continue to weaken, of course, as it moves inland, but might become a depression by Thursday over the Carolinas, and then could strengthen a bit more once it gets to the coast of the U.S., northeast U.S. as we move into Friday and then eventually toward Canada. Look at our sky in New Orleans. I thought this was so interesting. Almost just a completely gray, sort of almost winter-like sort of sky, I think, at the moment. Doesn't really feel super winter-like, though. Our temperature right now 78, so kind of cool. Dew point, though, nice and high in the 70s in the summer. And you can see our temperatures range mostly in the 80s. And really most of this week they've been cut back from soaring as high as they might go in the summer because we've had all the scattered rain and the clouds. We have an upper low, we have lots of moisture, and so each day we were expecting some of these showers and storms to flare up. Today is a day where we certainly have a few showers in the area. Thankfully, the heavier rain we were seeing just off to the west of some of our kind of river areas around the West Bank and so forth, it's kind of calmed down a little bit, but still some light to moderate rain out there in the metro area. So if you're grabbing lunch, umbrellas might be a good idea just in case you run into one of those little patches of rain. A little bit heavier downpour activity over parts of the Biloxi marshes and southern Plaquemines. There have been some heavier storms, gosh, yesterday a lot along the Mississippi coast, and now today again some decent downpours right along the coast, and a little flash flood warning there outside of our area toward Wiggins, Mississippi. And really there are two areas of low pressure, not only tropical storm Elsa you see over here, but also another non-tropical low pressure area over Texas, and we're kind of in the middle with our batch of showers and storms, probably increasing a little bit later today. But look at the flooding rain outlook. Kind of interesting to see that the highest risk, that high purple shading, is not where the tropical storm is, but rather over southern Texas today. A lot of heavy rain may bring up to possibly 5 to 10 or so inches for some individual or kind of isolated areas over there. And of course, the flooding potential is there, especially over toward Florida and eventually along the coast as that system Elsa weakens, but still brings rain over there. For us, we're going to see the high pressure building into our area, eventually bringing less rain and a little more heat as we move toward the weekend. So just a quick outlook on what to expect this weekend. Friday, highs may touch 90 after they'll probably stay in the 80s today and have been lately. Friday, about a 50% rain chance. Saturday and Sunday, 30% chances as that high pressure dries us out at least a little bit. There will be a few spotty storms, but just not as many as we've had lately. Today, we'll say 88 or so for the high, maybe if we get there. Lows tonight will be in the 70s with a 30% chance of rain, and just a quick peek at this afternoon. 2 p.m. on toward 4 and 5 p.m. Some scattered downpours. We'll be watching for a little street flooding possible under the heaviest rain, and 10 p.m. a lot of it will be dying down a bit. Something interesting from early this morning, by the way, you can see on our radar loop, this is from right around 6 a.m. You can see this batch of green. Those are birds. Radar is picking up on birds. The purple martins making a little appearance over the northern end of the causeway on radar. They have a roost there, and they were taking off early this morning. And interestingly, Professor Peter Yawkey, our bird expert, told me that he tried to go out and look on the southern end of the causeway for a similar roost that usually happens, but they aren't there this year. So maybe they decided to move to the North Shore like some other folks. But our 7-day forecast is showing our temperatures staying on the lower side for the next couple of days, eventually getting back into the lower 90s as we move toward the weekend. And again, a couple of spotty storms this weekend, mostly in the afternoons, but do be ready for a little more heat as we move that way.
Not a bad weekend ahead. Thanks so much, Alexandra. This morning, New York honored first responders of the pandemic with an old-fashioned ticker tape parade. The Frontline Heroes Parade traveled through the appropriately named canyon